Now you may be reading the title and laughing at me, but the truth is, an evil, vile, pomposity, terrible man forced me to watch this film. Now I don't usually do this, but I hate to start criticizing the movie before we even start. But whose bright idea was it to make a live-action movie about Dora the Explorer? Okay, now let's look at this from a financial standpoint. That's right, a money standpoint. Why would people want to watch a Dora movie? Now you may be saying, well, it's for little kids. And to that I say, well, there's multiple adult jokes and references to mating that little kids definitely won't get. Unless I was very retarded as a kid. But anyway, older kids are just like, nah, this movie's too cool for me. Yeah, I'm edgier than a sword. You know what I mean? This doesn't make sense from a financial standpoint. Are you trying to make a new, awesome, edgy Dora franchise cinematic universe? I mean, that's just dumb. Seriously, what is the reasoning behind making this film? Anyway, I digress. Let's get into the movie.
Everything you're about to see is true.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
This is the song that should be playing. Doot 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 doot, give us your money. Doot 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 doot, give us your money. I'm gonna eat your soul. So we get the title, and I think it should be changed.
And you don't look before you leap.
He's dead. This is the happiest day of my life. Anyway, she survived, obviously. I mean, that's a pretty obvious joke. But anyway, this scene creates a problem for the film. Now you may be going, well, yeah, she's not dead. That's the problem. Well, no, that's not the problem, although it is one of the problems. Just kidding. The real problem is the fact that this film tries to be realistic. It keeps going from being realistic to a cartoon. It keeps flip-flopping, like turning a light switch on and off. Realistic, non-realistic, realistic, non-realistic. It seemed it can't make up its mind whether it wants to be very, very cartoony and enjoy it, or be edgy Dora. Something I want to say real quick before we move on to the next scene and stuff is, why doesn't Boots talk in this movie? That's a stupid complaint. I know it sounds, but movies all the time want a furry sidekick. And the one time you can get a furry sidekick without it not making sense, you don't use it. That's just dumb. So Dora's mom and dad are gonna go look for this lost city of gold temple thing. You know, plot convenience. So they decide to send Dora to high school.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Why is Dora white? Anyway, Dora goes on a field trip with a bunch of her friends. A bunch of evil villains, which are referred to mercenaries. They use the word mercenary in a Dora film. They're looking for the lost city of gold, the thing that her parents went looking for in the beginning of the movie. And yeah. Anyway, the mercenaries kidnapped Dora and her friends. Yes, they kidnapped them, and so they're loaded up onto this crate into an airport so they could go find the city of gold by the bad guys. And this guy says, "Come with me if you want to live," which he doesn't deserve to say. That line is too cool for that loser. Anyway, don't worry, Dora, I've gone fox hunting before. So the friend that says the who wants to live thing says that he knows Dora's parents, but it turns out it's a trap by the mercenaries, because the mercenaries actually have her parents, and that guy's a bad guy. So yeah, they keep going, then they find mushrooms, and then they get high, and since a child can't get high, you have to do the alternate thing, which is drink soda. And remember, kids, that's why you don't drink Mountain Dew, because it makes you sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. But for real though, okay, so like I said, which you couldn't understand because of the chipmunk thing from the Mountain Dew stuff or whatever, they make it to this temple, and yeah. Remember how I said the realism and non-realism thing? They do another cartoony thing once they get to this temple. Yeah, and which, like I said, conflicts with the tone of the film. And then, after they escape the temple, they make it to the last final temple which they need to get to for the lost city of gold, because as I said, that guy who saved them turned out to be a bad guy. And then Diego mentions perspective, and then they try to go all cartoony on us despite the fact that they established that this is realistic. Yeah, and the twist is annoying. Yeah, I mean, really? And then once they get in the temple, they find the gold statue. She reunites with her parents, but then the statue becomes alive after, like, I can't remember which Indiana Jones movie it was, but you know the one where he has to pick through the cups or whatever? Or, you know, not cups, but he has to, like, pick a certain thing. They do that in the Dora movie, and then once she picks the right one, the statue becomes a girl. Talks about how the bad guy that claimed to be their friend was unworthy, killed the bad guy, and Dora goes back to high school at the end of the film. Now, I know I rushed through this, but I really want to get to my conclusion. For example, 1. Why are there adult jokes in this film? Dora gets high. Little kids aren't going to get that, and I assume that's the target audience. And older kids aren't going to watch a Dora movie unless you're talking about me, which is a very, 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 very small minority. Also, why do you keep shifting the tone? That's really stupid. And then the plot changes. It derails itself. It goes from Dora blending into high school to Dora's big jungle adventure. The characters Dora meets are bland, and Boots doesn't talk in this film, which bothers me. But I'm not done yet. Okay, so I want to go over a couple things. Why was this film made? I assume it's because they wanted to make an Indiana Jones style parody or whatever, but, I mean, really? Hang on, I need a second to catch my breath. Okay. Sorry, I would usually edit out takes, but I don't edit out takes in my conclusions, but alright. Seriously, all the characters that Dora meets are absolutely bland. Seriously. Oh, and did I mention Diego, her cousin, which was the tall guy that I showed in that one clip? He randomly kisses the one mean girl that I mentioned earlier, despite the fact that they have no chemistry, and it makes no sense at all. It makes no sense at all. And then there's a poop song. I'm not even going to play that. Just look Dora poop song up. Okay, and that was cringy. Alright, now for my final thoughts. Okay, for a Dora movie, this movie is good. Keep in mind, I said for a Dora movie, this movie is the best it could be. For a Dora movie, this movie is the best it could be. Again, for a Dora movie, it's the best it could be. But for a movie, it's terrible. Well, it's not terrible. It's just like that horrible subgenre of movies that your parents buy at the bargain bin, and then it turns out to really, really suck. Now, if you excuse me, me and my accomplice are gonna go bury Swapper's remains.
What's an accomplice?
I'll tell you when you're older.